Alright, I just blew 20 minutes of doing another video, which is, I guess, that's par for the course. But it gave me an idea. That was just a palaver. That was like, I was just doing this sort of thing that I'm doing now, and sort of free associating and talking about stuff and being profound and personal, so it's probably a good thing that that just sort of disappeared. But it gave me an idea, you know, as I do these exercises, um, things go through my mind and they become more clear. And one of the things that was going through my mind and getting clear was rendering, how to go about rendering. Because when I started, I didn't have a clue. And the hardest thing that I had to learn, other than that I really had to learn how to draw from the ground up. I had to go back from the very beginning and learn everything over. Aside from that, which was hard to take, the thing that I banged my head against the wall about was rendering. You know, using ink, using a brush, and getting a finished product. So how do you do that? How do you even start to render light and shadow on a figure? And the answer, you know, it's staring you right there in the face. It's always there. The question is, how do you apply it? The answer is with, you know, you start with basic shapes. So here, for example, underneath here are spheres. You know, there's like basically two beach balls. And that forms her buttocks. And just the way you would render two beach balls, if you decided that the light is coming from here, for example, that's the way you would render the buttocks, except I wouldn't use that pencil. I'm using this for right now. And the same thing here, we have the thighs, which are just modified pipes, and the calves, which are also modified pipes, and the feet, oops, let's get the other calf in first, which are modified wedges. And once you have the sense of the form, which you get after you do the sketch, right, after you do the gesture, you do what they call the lay-in. You put in the basic forms, the basic shapes that tell you what the three-dimensional structure is that you're looking at. And right after that, you put in your, what people call shading, which is really an expression of the lighting. Okay, the shading is telling you what part of the form is turning away from the light. And it's, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's as simple as that. What makes it difficult is the complexity of human anatomy. So in order to shade well, in order to render well, realistically, you really have to know your anatomy. It's inescapable. You can go only so far knowing basic shapes without knowing how they relate to the underlying anatomy. which is fine. I mean, for some people, they don't have to go any farther. They don't want to go any farther. They don't need to. For other people, it's a necessity. So here, for example, I've seen John Buscema do this. He'll draw a figure, he'll draw the leg, and then I'm thinking, well, why is he drawing these little egg shapes for the calves when he can draw? He's already drawn the calf. He's already drawn that. Why does he have to put this in there? And now I understand. He has to put that in there because he wants to get some shading done. And after he gets the shading with the ink, he's going to erase that egg shape, and you're going to get, or he's going to get, this suggestion of the muscles, the egg shape of the calves, based on that simple egg that he drew. Michelangelo did the same thing. That's how you do it. That's where it starts. So for the buttocks here, all you'd have to know is that this isn't a beach ball. Really, it's kind of like a block, and at the same time a beach ball. So it's got a side plane, but it's a soft edge. And in flat lighting, you just have to know how to define that edge with some hatching. Okay? Or then, if the light's coming from the other side of the body, you'd completely darken in that side. And you'd have to darken in the whole thing too, all the way down. And that's how it starts.